Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. We're going to be talking about the developer update that's going to be coming out on the PTB in a couple days, Tuesday the 29th. So if you don't like to read, I am here to help you out and read it for you. All you have to do is sit back and listen. If you want to catch us live, we do stream on Twitch Thursday through Sunday as well as Tuesdays. 8 p.m. Eastern time, and I know way too much about this game, so you can come in, sit in the chat, we can talk about it, and hopefully you can teach me something new. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Chapter 16 review. With the upcoming mid-chapter, we are kicking off a new initiative to review the previously released chapter, the killer, their perks, and the survivor's perk, and make any changes that are needed. The first to receive this treatment is the Silent Hill chapter. We feel that it is important to see how new content plays out in real scenario before committing to balance changes. Something that seems overpowered upon release can end up being a non-issue once people have had a chance to play against it and develop counterplay. Likewise, something that might seem underpowered might find a niche once people have had time to experiment with new builds and playstyles. Other times, the playstyles that crop up over time can turn out to be frustrating or unfun to play against. We're looking at you, Forever Freddy. With this in mind, we plan to review the previous chapter once it had a few months to simmer and address any issues or imbalances that may have appeared. This period gives us a chance to monitor how the new content is used and get a better understanding of how it is used and how it can be abused before tweaking things. First off, the executioner changes. So from watching Pyramid Head matches over the past few months, we have noticed that many people will opt to use the punishment of the damned attack at pallets and windows where the survivor is locked into interaction and unable to attempt to dodge the attack. To address this and make gameplay more dynamic, we are making two changes. First, increasing the delay after canceling Rites of Judgment before Pyramid Head can attack. So first of all, Rites of Judgment is when he drops the sword in the ground, and then Punishment of the Damned is when he railguns with his M2 through objects. The reason for this change is to add a downside to canceling your power at each pallet or window. Currently, the survivor is left with two choices. One, vault the window or drop the pallet and get hit with the Punishment of the Damned, or two, continue running and get hit with a basic attack. By increasing the delay before you can do basic attack after canceling Rites of Judgment, the survivor gets a small window to avoid an attack, similar to the Huntress of the Demogorgon. Number two, decreasing the delay after attacking with Punishment of the Damned. So missing an attack with Punishment of the Damned can feel very punishing. The cooldown after attacking is fairly long, which gives the survivor a lot of time to gain distance. By lowering the cooldown, you'll be able to use your power more liberally without having it backfire as hard if you miss. The goal of these changes is to move Pyramid Head's gameplay in a more skill-based direction, which rewards aiming attacks well rather than canceling your power or using it only in situations where you're guaranteed a hit. We're not aiming to make the Executioner stronger or weaker overall, but rather to address some of the frustrations of both sides. So basically what they're saying is there is more of a delay between switching from M2 to M1, but less of a delay between missing your M2 attack. So this is going to hopefully make it more well-rounded and a lot more fun to play against, and I guess to play as. So we'll have to keep an eye on the PTB and see what happens and see how it plays out. So now they're going to go into some perk changes for Chapter 16. We are happy to see that some of the perks from Chapter 16 found their way into people's regular lineup and niche builds. However, there are three perks that we would like to revisit. These perks are: 1. Trail of Torment. We erred on the side of caution when releasing this perk. If the killer is undetectable too often, it can easily become overwhelming and start to overshadow actual stealth-based killers. After watching it play out, we're comfortable with giving Trail of Torment a buff. So, Trail of Torment is, after kicking a generator, you become undetectable for 16 seconds. During this time, the generator aura is revealed in yellow to all survivors. Can't be triggered once every 60 seconds. The change. The undetectable status effect will now remain active until the marked generator stops regressing or until the survivor is put into the dying state by any means. This creates an interesting dynamic where survivors need to stop the generator from regressing to remove the undetectable status effect. The killer can use this to ambush survivors or use it to sneak up on a survivor from an unexpected angle. So a couple keys here. One, put into the dying state. So the killer can go ahead and kick the generator, be undetectable, find a healthy survivor, hit them into injured, and then they are still undetectable, where the killer can then continue chasing, put the survivor in the dying state, which then cancels the undetectable, or can move to a better position while undetectable to probably force a survivor to off another gen, possibly nearby, or somebody breaking a totem, assuming the first gen wasn't stopped regressing. Now, also, we're not sure how it's going to be affected by Ruin, since Ruin automatically starts regressing after they stop regressing. But I'm assuming it's just going to stop as soon as you just tap the gen and it's good to go. But we'll have to check out on the PTB how it plays out. Second, Forced Penance. The Forced Penance has some interesting applications, but the duration seems to be a little low to get much use out of the broken effect. So, survivors who take a protection hit are inflicted with the broken status effect for 60 seconds. So now what they're doing is they're going to increase the duration of the broken effect by 20 seconds across all tiers. So tier 1 is 40, move to 60. Tier 2 is 50, move to 70. And tier 3 is 60, move to 80. So you're going to be broken for quite a bit longer. Blood Pact. Blood Pact's haste effect is nice to have, but did not last long enough to see much use. The original perk said when you or the obsession are injured, you both see each other's aura. After healing the obsession or being healed by the obsession, you both gain haste status effect, moving at an increased 7% for 6, 8, or 10 seconds. It also reduces the odds of you being the obsession. So what they're changing here is they're getting rid of the duration of the haste and instead making it last indefinitely until the two survivors are no longer within 16 meters of one another. So if you and the obsession heal each other, stick together, be buddy-buddy, and you get that 7% haste indefinitely until you decide to part ways. So with those perks being changed, they're also going to change some other perks here. The first of which in this mid-chapter perk package is going to be Any Means Necessary. This is Yui's perk. It's the pallet pickup. So press and hold the active ability button for 4 seconds while standing beside a drop pallet to reset it to its upright position, and it has a cooldown of 140, 130, and 120 seconds. So they're reducing the cooldown to 60 seconds, so it comes back every minute, and they added the scoring event for resetting a pallet. I'm pretty sure this will be in the survival category or possibly boldness. I don't see this being in objective or altruism. This is another perk that we aired on the side of caution when releasing. Resetting pallets can be a game changer, and we wanted to make sure that it would not get out of hand upon review. We are comfortable with decreasing the cooldown to 60 seconds. Next one on the list, Cruel Limits. This is going to be Demogorgon's perk. Each time a generator is repaired, all windows and vault locations within the radius of 24 meters from the completed gen are blocked for all survivors for the next 30 seconds. They're going to increase the radius to 32 meters from 24. There was a concern with Cruel Limits being overbearing when the perk first launched, but it turned out to be a non-issue, and increasing the range to 32 meters, in my opinion, it's still going to be a non-issue, but we'll see. Excuse me. The next one on the list is For the People. So the original perk says press the active ability button while healing another survivor without a medkit to instantly heal them from dying to injured or from injured to healthy. You become injured and receive the broken status effect for 90 seconds, and you also become the obsession. At the beginning, it reduces your chance to be the obsession. So now they're just going to add a scoring event for the people. I'm assuming it's going to be altruism, but everything else stays the same. So more blood points. Mindbreaker is going to be Demogorgon's perk, and while repairing generators with less than 50% repair progression, survivors are afflicted by the exhausted status effect. Any existing exhaustion status effect timers are paused while the survivor is repairing a generator. After ending the repair action, the survivor is afflicted by exhausted status effect for 3 seconds. Now, they're going to increase the duration of the exhausted status effect, as the exhausted effect from Mindbreaker often ended up being too short to make much use out of it. So they're going to increase the duration by a few seconds across the board. I'm thinking 2, but we'll see. We're going to move into Slippery Meat. Everybody should know. You basically grant up to 3 extra escape attempts on the hook, and the odds of freeing yourself from bear traps are increased by 25%. So they're going to remove the bear trap escape chance, but add an increased chance to unhook yourself. Slippery Meat was found its way into some niche builds, but it is one of the few perks from back in the day that affects one killer more than others, increasing your odds of escaping bear traps. This is something we've moved away from recently, so we will be removing the increased bear trap escape chance from this perk. To better play into the niche playstyle, Slippery Meat will now increase your chance to self-unhook, in addition to giving you more self-unhook attempts. So the next one is going to be Thanatophobia. For each injured, dying, or hooked survivor, all survivors receive a stackable penalty of 4% to the repair, healing, and sabotage speeds up to a maximum of 16%. They're going to remove the heal speed penalty, but increase the penalty on the other activities. So Thanatophobia is meant to encourage the survivors to heal in order to avoid the penalty from the perk. However, it currently reduces healing speed as well, creating a lose-lose situation no matter what the survivors do. This prevents us from making the perk stronger, as it would quickly get overbearing. To address this, we are removing the reduced healing speed from the perk, but increasing the action speed penalty to compensate. So we'll see how much it gets reduced, maybe another 2%, maybe another 4%, who knows. We're going to live forever, the best farm perk out there. Each time you perform a safe, hook, rescue, or take protection hit for a survivor, gain a stackable 25% bonus to all blood point gains up to a maximum of 100%. This is one of David King's perks. So they added new ways to get tokens and added increased healing speed when healing a dying survivor. My guess, the new tokens will come from healing a dying survivor, or possibly fully healing somebody from one state to another. We'll have to see. We're Gonna Live Forever is often seen as the survivor equivalent to barbecue and chili, but lacking a secondary like the latter's aura reading ability. It can also cause survivors to compete for unhooks, leading to people rushing in for hook saves before it's safe. By adding additional ways to get tokens, we hope to reduce the competition between survivors. The secondary effect gives the perk more use within the trial. We'll see how this is going to play out. Technician is one of Feng Ming's perks. The hearing distance of noise caused by your repairs is reduced by 8 meters, and on failed repair skill checks, there will be a 50% chance that the generator explosion will be prevented. So they're going to increase the chance to prevent the explosion by 100%, and added an increased penalty to miss skill checks. Technician is designed as a perk to help newer players and those who struggle with skill checks. There is, however, a random aspect to it, as whether or not the generator will explode and the explosion will be prevented. To make it more consistent, we play more into the learning tool aspect. We are changing the perk to always prevent the explosion, but adding a small penalty to progress for missed skill checks. Now we move on to Clown's perk, Pop Goes the Weasel. After hooking a survivor, the next generator you break is instantly regressed by 25% of its total progression. Normal generator regression applies after the damage is done, and this has an activation time of 60 seconds after you hook. So they're going to decrease the time the perk stays activated to 45 seconds. Originally, Pop Goes the Weasel had a 30-second cooldown, which felt too short to get much use out of it. Later, we increased this to 60 seconds. This felt much better to use, but it wound up being a little too lenient and allowed killers to find and kick a generator at their leisure, often after chasing and downing a different survivor. To add some urgency back to the perk, we are splitting the difference and changing the time to 45 seconds at tier 3. This way you'll have enough time to get the generator you want to kick, but you'll want to kick the generator before committing to a chase with another survivor. Perk rarity simplification, keeping with the theme of perks, the small change, but noteworthy one nonetheless. All perks will now share the same rarities based on their tiers. Currently, tier 3 perks can either be rare, green, or very rare, purple. This can make it difficult to find perk you're looking for, since the perk list is sorted not just alphabetically, but also divided across 2 different rarities. Going forward, perk rarity will match their tier of the perk. Rank 1 is yellow, uncommon. Rank 2 is green, rare, and rank 3 will stay purple at very rare. This makes it easier to find perks you're looking for in your perk list, and also makes it easier to tell what tier a perk is at a glance. So let me know what you guys think. I've memorized the list of purple and green perks. They're in alphabetical order. This will make it an oversimplification, but otherwise, if you have everything in rank 3, it's just going to be a giant wall of purple. So now we're going to go to the graphics update of the Macmillan estate. So you guys have probably seen some of the concept for the new realm updates coming to Macmillan. And in case you missed them, here they are. We'll just go through them real quick. It's gonna look good. I'm so glad our boy Evan is getting his home reworked and looking nice and neat. Let me know what you guys think. This concludes the September edition of the developer update. All of the changes mentioned above will be available for testing in the PTB on Steam Tuesday, the 29th of September. We look forward to seeing what you think once we've had a chance to try everything out. Hopefully, I'm going to be playing the PTB at least for a day. Like I said, catch us live. We should be streaming that Tuesday. Yeah, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. If you like this video, please give us a like. It really helps out with the YouTube algorithm. If you want to see more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and it'll let you know when we put out more videos like this. I try and keep the Dead by Daylight community as informed as possible. If you have any questions, let us know down below. And if nobody told you already, we love you guys, and stay safe out there.